Hello everyone. Today in this video we'll be talking about vital aspects of India's political system, federalism and the evolving relationship between the center and the states. This topic is particularly important in understanding how governance works in such a diverse and populous nation like India. To understand how this system works in India, let's begin with a quick overview of what federalism actually means. Let's begin by understanding federalism. Federalism is a system of governance where power is divided between a central authority and various constituent units, in our case, the union and the states. Federalism is of two types: coming together federalism and holding together federalism. In coming together federalism, independent states voluntarily unite, often driven by a desire for mutual benefit like stronger defense or economic advantages. Whereas in holding together federalism, existing nation decides to decentralize its power, typically to address regional diversity or tensions, often in response to pressures for greater autonomy. India's version of federalism is unique because it blends federal principles with unitary features. This is especially necessary to manage the country's linguistic, cultural, and regional diversity. Now that we have defined federalism, let's look at how it's structured in the Indian context and what makes it unique. Indian federalism is often described as quasi-federal. While it has features of a federation like the US, it also leans toward centralization. For example, we have a single constitution, single citizenship, and strong central government. But the constitution also clearly delineates powers, provides for an independent judiciary, and safeguards state autonomy to an extent. A key element of this structure is how powers are divided between the center and the states. Let's explore that next. This division is articulated in the seventh schedule of the Constitution through three lists: union, state, and concurrent. The union list covers national issues like defense and foreign affairs, while the state list includes public health and agriculture. The concurrent list is shared, and in case of conflict, central law prevails. The divisions ensures both levels of government have exclusive areas of operation. But powers aren't just about laws. They also involve money. So let's move on to how financial responsibilities are divided. Financial powers are heavily titled in favor of the center. Most major taxes are collected by the union, and states rely on transfers from the center. which are governed by the Finance Commission. The introduction of GST has made financial federalism more collaborative but also complex as states have limited fiscal autonomy. To manage these divisions and coordinate better, several institutions have been put in place. Let's take a look at them. Institutional mechanisms. To coordinate and manage relations, we have several institutions. The Interstate Council, which promote cooperative dialogue. Zonal councils for regional coordination. And Niti Aayog, which replaced the Planning Commission and works more as a think tank encouraging cooperative federalism. Governors also play a significant role, although often controversial in managing center-state ties. While these mechanisms exist, how does federalism actually play out on the ground? Let's see how center-state relations work in practice. Federalism in India is constantly evolving. Sometimes we see cooperative federalism, like during the pandemic when states and the center work together. Other times conflicts emerge, such as with the farm laws, NEET exams, policies, or Article 356. These practical examples show the tensions and balances of federal functioning. Sometimes these relations are contested, and that's where the judiciary comes in. Let's examine how the courts have interpreted federalism. Judicial interpretation. The Supreme Court has played a key role in defining federal boundaries. In S.R. Bommai versus Union of India, the court restricted arbitrary use of precedents rule. Earlier, in state of West Bengal versus Union of India, it reinforced the central government's power to legislate on certain subjects. These judgments are critical in maintaining constitutional balance. Despite judiciary clarity, there are ongoing challenges that India's federal structure continues to face. Let's discuss those. Despite its strengths, Indian federalism faces several challenges: increasing centralization, states' fiscal dependence, overreach by governors, and tensions with regional parties. These challenges demand constant dialogue and reform to keep the spirit of federalism alive. And what's being done about these challenges? In the next section, we'll look at recent developments and reforms efforts. In recent years, mechanisms like the GST Council and Niti Aayog have pushed for a more collaborative approach. However, there are also growing demands for state autonomy, especially from southern states. This shows the dynamic nature of a federalism in India. It is always under negotiation. So, how do we tie all this together? Let's summarize the key takeaways and reflect on the future of federalism in India. To conclude, India's federal structure is both resilient and adaptable. It has allowed us to maintain unity while respecting diversity. However, it continues work in progress, requiring trust, cooperation, and dialogue between the center and the states. As Dr. Ambedkar said, the constitution is only as good as those who implement it. That brings us to the end of the presentation. Thank you, everyone.